shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to Between the Game Sports. Appreciate y'all coming back for another episode, man. We're going to talk about this craziness, man. Will, you got anything before we get started?
What up, baby? What up?
There you go, boy. Like you filming right now with a Game Boy.
Man, BTGS is in the building. Let's get it, man.
Let's get it, man. Y'all know, we're going to come with this SWAC content.
Man, I'm on my laptop, man. I don't know what's going on.
Look like you're a Nintendo game over there. But yeah, man.
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm on my laptop. I shouldn't be having no issues.
Oh, yeah, man. You get that together. But it's a slight delay, too. Can you kind of hear the delay?
No, I can't hear it.
Yeah, it's a slight delay. But that's all right. We're going to work around it. So let's talk about it, man. You know where everybody here, man. It's getting a little spicy in these streets, man. Deion Sanders has pulled the impossible, and we're going to talk about another pickup that he's got. But, man, what are your thoughts so far, man, of why these coaches are so much in disarray right now of what's going on?
I missed most of that, but yeah, it's I did a video about this late last night, man, and it's up to like 3,100 views, man. So that's crazy. That never happens to me. But these dudes are mad because of this young kid, Travis Hunter, decided to do his own thing and choose his own path. And he got folks are highly upset about it, like a Dabo Swinney, the head coach at Clemson. Now he's talking about the transfer portal is corrupted and people are cheating and stuff like that. Then you got folks like Doug Gottlieb, who I put in my video. He sent out a tweet just really, really upset and talking about the facilities and kids can't get anywhere in the SWAC or at HBCU. And so Travis Hunter has caused some uproar. He's really has.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Some uproar. Yeah, that's a way to put
it. Got folks going mad, man. It when stuff like that happens, it causes people when they're expecting one thing to go one way, then it goes the opposite of their way, and it makes them lose money. Folks are gonna get mad, really, really mad, especially in collegiate football, the biggest business there is besides NFL. College football is a huge, huge business.
And I do want people to know this. This is a business. This is not you get to go to college and get a free education. Oh, this is for the betterment of the university, and the kids should just be grateful to be like, nah, that shit. You know what, Will? I'm glad we got ahead of this because the stream we made a year ago when they first made the NIL ruling, we was like, the game is about to change. And we've only seen it to be so with Mikey Williams, with Master P's son, and now recently with Travis Hunter. Like, hey, you can throw that bullshit out the window because it's always been a business. It's always been about getting the most money, the most profit for the university and the governing body, which is the NCAA. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand this. Like, you don't, because here's the thing. They pass this off like these schools are barely breaking even with their athletic programs and all this. So you telling me you can pay a Dabo Swinney $10 million a year and your program is barely breaking even? That makes zero sense. That makes no sense from a functioning business to conduct business that way. So what you're seeing now is once the game got kind of leveled with the NIL situation, you're going to see a lot of sour grapes. And this is just one iteration of it, man.
Yeah, and this is why you had the incident with Michigan when Chris Webber was, confused on why he wasn't getting money when kids are rocking his jersey around the city. Or it's Ed O'Bannon, one of the O'Bannon brothers really started this off back in what? 2009.
Ed O'Bannon did. Ed O'Bannon started this.
Yeah, so he started this off back in 2009 when he sued the NCAA about his likeness and stuff like that.
On that video game.
Hey, I got a little change from that. I'll take it.
Yeah, I got a little change.
Back then,
I think I missed it.
You might have missed the deadline. But even back then, we knew it was a business, man. Being with our coach 18 of the 24 hours of the day, and talking about we're student athletes.
It's like your second daddy.
We're we're an athlete student, man. We're an absolute athlete student.
There you go.
So don't miss me with that. This is about, the college. When the college can make millions of dollars off of you and your likeness and your image and sell you on the billboards, they can put you on flyers, anything else, but you get nothing out of that. And people are mad at it. Young athletes were taken here and there from boosters, and we can blame them too, alumni and all of those big alumni. So don't get mad when college kids say, okay, you know what? It's time for me to think about myself. That's basically what I said in my video. These kids want to go to school where they look like them, act like them, talk like them, and still get a chance to get paid. Man, best believe it's going to happen.
It's going down. And NCAA owe me money because I'm on this game right here. Stephen F. Austin, number 21. Look up, if you got this game, I'm on this game. They owe me some money, goddammit.
They owe you some bread, man. Owe you some
bread.
And
speaking of Stephen F. Austin, man, shout out to one of my teammates there, my boy D-Cuz. He's saying shake up the world in prime, yes, sir. And I'm glad that people who didn't go the HBCU route, you can see the forest through the trees as well, because that smoke screen has always been there that, they're going to a better school with better facilities, and that was kind of Doug Gottlieb's point, saying that they're basically getting a lesser quality of service, and if we're just not capping, that may be so. However, this does not matter that you cannot get adequate training from what currently exists, especially if they're going to Jackson State, especially if they're going to Prairie View. I don't know if y'all know Prairie View has a state-of-the-art athletic facility and stadium, so that narrative is kind of dated. Because people are meeting the new burden of standard. Now, there are some SWAC schools that have not, made their way yet, but they're on their way. And at the end of the day, I don't care if you in a sweat, like I remember at PV when I played, we was in the sweat box. Pumping iron is pumping iron, man. When you lifting weights, you lifting weights, man. It depends on what you go out there and do on the court and on the field. And you can talk all that preparation shit you want to, but what you do on Sunday, Saturday, or when we play in basketball, was it Tuesdays or Wednesday?
Tuesdays and Fridays, maybe y'all might have been different.
Tuesdays and Fridays, something like that. I think we did Saturday, but it matters what you do with no lights on, man. All that preparation stuff is cool, but some dudes, when the popcorn popping, can perform, and some dudes just can't. And so the reason why they mad, to kind of bring this around, and shout out to Justin Williams saying they big mad. The reason why they mad because that veil of secrecy has kind of been unplugged now. So what you thought of what athletes like their place, as it were. Now, I don't want to go so heavy on the race angle, but I do want to go that these affluent Caucasian men, though, that is how they view these kids. Y'all got to understand this. Even the normal fan who couldn't even make JV, they view themselves as quote unquote better than the athlete that they cheer for. How do we know this? Because you're only good to them while you're good to them, while you benefit them. You go the other way, then they'll disavow you. How do we know that? With the dude who burnt that Deion Sanders jersey, talking about this has been my prized possession. I tried to download that picture so bad it wouldn't let me. But to this dude, I'm gonna give you the camera. I'm gonna give you the camera. You mad? You mad?
He's big mad, dog. He's big mad. I put that in my video too, man. You give up a framed Florida State Deion Sanders jersey when it's all said and done, probably gonna be one of the most prized college football jerseys ever, and you burn it? You that outrage? You got that fake outrage? Like, come on, man. This ain't got nothing to do with the kids, right? This is about you mad that Coach Sanders won up y'all. He won up y'all.
He beat you at your own game.
Yes.
He beat you at your own game.
And because he knows the game very, very well.
Oh, yeah.
And folks don't understand that Deion is a very savvy guy. Very smart. He's smart with his words.
Very charismatic.
Knows the game. So he's been through it all. Like we said on the last stream about what he told the Lions, man, y'all can't afford me. So he negotiated the biggest contract ever for a cornerback. So you mean to tell me he can't do that in college football?
Come on, you think his skills just ended his rookie year? You think he ain't got better at what he does now? Come on, man.
Older and wiser, man. And from what I'm seeing, man, I think they just signed another 5-star named Spencer James. He's the wide receiver. And they still haven't suited up, what is the kid named? Cordarius something? You did a video about him.
Hold on, I think Spencer James is that sounds like the dude from that show. That sounds like the dude from the show, All American, bro. You may have got trolled on that.
What's his name? Oh,
Spencer James is that dude from the show, All American, bro.
They might have hooked with me.
They may have got you, dog. They may have got you.
Joke on that one.
Huh?
Is that right?
I think Spencer James is the name of that kid on the show.
4-star receiver that's going there too.
Oh, yeah, that's from All American, bro. They got you, dog.
They got you. He's a transfer.
They got you.
The kid from Indiana.
That's funny. Huh?
I don't watch that show, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a black.
I don't watch that show. Never seen it. What's the kid name from Indiana?
Got you. Hey, and I want to acknowledge Super Chat for my boy Sub-Zero, who me and him doing a show later at 3:00 Pacific time, 5:00 Central, with the $5 Super Chat. So I gotta give me a soundboard, but to the end.
Yeah, you gotta acknowledge those people. Hey,
there you go.
Hey, I like it. Adding the effect.
Yeah, appreciate you, Sub-Zero, man. It's a cool dude. Also a college hooper.
Adding the effect.
Straight up from the back rows of Alabama, and you definitely gonna see it, man. He's a great speaker, and he's very passionate. So y'all check me out in a few hours, man. We're gonna talk about LeBron James' career. So it's gonna be a hell of a discussion, man. Appreciate you, Sub. Let's see. His name is Stewart. It says Stewart. His name.
Talking about.
Huh?
Quadarius Davis was the first dude I was talking about.
Yeah, they signed him last year. He's from Dallas, Skyline.
From Dallas. So he ain't even suited up yet.
Yeah, and that's why I said live I was on yesterday. He ain't even play, and he's like if you watch him play, when he get the ball in his hand, he's like Derrick Henry. That's a big boy. Like he had a touchdown. We had like 8 cutbacks, like just throwing dudes off of him. Like he's a big playmaker and a big frame on him as well. So think about a whole year to develop. He's gonna be a redshirted freshman. Hey, that's gonna be scary, man.
Scary, man. Scary. Somebody else they didn't sign. Man.
Let's see. All right. So while you figure that out, Dante was saying. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Will. My bad.
Man, they got a bunch of transfers coming in. Kid from Miami, Mark Pope. He's a wide receiver. He was a 3-star coming out of. He was a 4-star coming out of high school, I believe. So they loading up at that wide receiver position, and you still got Mr. Tucker that's back. Malachi Wyman, who Coach Sanders was talking about this morning on ESPN. How do you think the world feels that Jackson State was on ESPN this morning?
Dog, again.
He was on the show with Max Kellerman.
Yeah, the morning show.
Somebody else. Jay Wills and who else? Keyshawn Johnson. He was on the show this morning.
Yeah. But who could, like, you know what's happening? He's becoming what Coach K is. Like, you see Coach K on those American Express commercials. You see Coach K doing these other ventures that is low-key recruiting. Now, coaching Team USA. Now, Prime is doing this for HBCU. And these little subtleties is what's really changing the game up, man. And I told people a year ago, y'all better keep y'all head on the swivel. This dude right here is moving like nobody else has, man.
Yep, man. Let me change my camera because I'm looking on the YouTube feed. It's looking real shaky.
Tell you, boy, like you on a Game Boy.
It's looking real
Sega
shaky,
Genesis
man.
graphics you got going on over
there. You go ahead. I can still hear you, so I'm gonna go change this real quick.
But yeah, so Dante said I think Jackson State will eventually go 1A. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, you got Tennessee State. I believe they are. Somebody looked it up for me. If the OVC conference is 1A. It may be still higher 1AA or FCS as we call it, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. But now we got to think of this though: breaking the allegiance of the SWAC, man. SWAC teams don't typically do that because it's a lot of money to be made from your home games and what have you. Because if y'all know amongst FCS rankings, SWAC attendance like blows all these other conferences out the water. I think MAAAD does well too. But SWAC just kills all these other smaller conferences. So you gotta understand there's a vested interest for them to make money on home games in these rivalries and what have you. So it's possible, but I think the implications are that would be a huge step out on breaking the norm. Now, if there's anybody who can do it, it's Coach Prime and more specifically the AD, Ashley Robinson. who was when he's in compliance when I played at Prairie View. So I know Ashley, he's a good dude, and he's very much forward thinking. So I mean, who knows? Who knows? Justin Williams said a fake outrage is addictive. Oh, yes, it is. And when Will gets back on camera, we're gonna kind of go over Dabo Swinney's. This is what he does. This is what he does, and I'll give a teaser with that, but we'll touch on that a little later. But yeah, it's fake outrage because, again, at the end of the day, these fans only love you for what you can do for them. You see it all the time. These dudes like be campus heroes, and then once the show's over, you got to go into the real world. And these same people are not going to extend that courtesy to you. They're not going to help you out unless you can help them. They're not going to, like, if you say you play football at University of Texas and one of your classmates went on to have a successful business firm or whatever, just a law practice or top-notch salesman, and you want to come in looking for a job. I mean, if you're years removed and you bring no value to, like, basically your name has no intrinsic value to the company, they're not going to mess with you no more. Like, it was good while it lasted. But you got to understand, these fans are showing their true colors. I mean, like Draymond said to Paul Pierce, man, they don't love you like that. They don't love you like that. If you can't bring nothing to them, there's no incentive for them to like you back, because they don't just like you because you're a great guy. They like you for what you can do for them. And look at the dude who was, a fan, which is short for fanatic, for Deion Sanders. And once Deion, in his mind, took a player from the program he loves, which is Florida State, he lost his shit. He lost it. He couldn't be smart enough to understand that this is a signed jersey from one of the best cornerbacks to ever touch a football, and you were willing to throw it away just because you're emotional at the time because he slighted your university, which I bet that person didn't even go to Florida State. You know how it go. These dudes be so emotional over schools they never even went to. You ain't putting no dollars towards this program, but you're so passionate, which I get it. Nothing wrong with it per se, but come on, man. Like, you got to temper that, man. You're a grown ass man. Yeah, Quay Davis. Yeah. So I made a video on that gentleman a few months ago. Shout out to Cleo Smith, boys. Cleo Smith always showing love to the channel. Appreciate you, brother. Will, what you got, man?
He does. Man, I'm just, catching back in. I have to log out and log back in.
Oh, hold on. No, I got to give him a Don DeMarco for last week, man. Hey. Hey, man, he came in heavy-handed with that the Cash App. He said he did it in the stream. I was like, appreciate it. I went and looked. I was like, okay, Cleo, appreciate that, man. That's solid, man. That's solid. Nice. Speaking of Cleo, hey, y'all hit that like button on this stream. Let's get more people in here because we're gonna talk about this hit piece, subtle hit piece, dog whistle hit piece that's going on for Coach Sanders. And also, again, if you want to support the channel, super chat, hit the Cash App. Will, you can drop yours as well, and so we can keep this thing rocking. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, I put it in there, but I want to say is going back to Dabo Swinney. He said that there's cheating going on in the transfer portal, this and that. Guys are out here lying to kids, and I say that to say this: Is Clemson clean? If you're gonna watch somebody else's house, make sure that your house is clean as well. So you mean to tell me Clemson, you ain't never had any issues, you ain't never did anything backdoor, or none of these other Power 5 schools? When I can give you an example in basketball, a guy by the name of Bruce Pearl, who's been caught doing every stop he's had. Every stop he's been at, Bruce Pearl, go check him out if you never heard of him. I think he's coaching at Tennessee now. He's had
I think he got fired from Tennessee.
Really?
Anywhere he started at?
Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay, where's he at now? He's still in the SEC.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
He's still in the SEC. So, but he had issues at Tennessee. I want to say like maybe he's at South Carolina or something like that, or one
probably
of those
at
not really known.
Mississippi State. Mississippi State take anybody. They always taking somebody leftovers.
So, but that's what I'm saying though. There's a guy who's had multiple chances as a head coach.
He's at Auburn.
He's at Auburn. There you go. He's at Auburn. Multiple chances as a head coach, and he has had issues with the NCAA everywhere he's went. So don't tell me about there's cheating going on in the transfer portal now because HBCUs are getting kids that that they thought that they couldn't get in the beginning. That kid chose Jackson State over his home state, where Georgia is about to go play in the college football playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't choose Georgia. He didn't choose Florida State. He chose Jackson State for a reason. And, of course, he has a deal with Barstool Sports and some gaming thing that probably played a big role in it. But I believe he said that he wanted to uphold the SWAC legacy. So he made a decision for himself and his family, and people are mad about that. The young men, young athletes are deciding to look at themselves instead of going to like a school that's worried about them. What you can do for the school. Like you said, once you're done with that school, 9 times out of 10, you don't hear from a booster. You don't hear from anybody. So
and you know, and that's why I rock with. I'm sorry, go ahead, Will.
I'm just saying this fake outrage needs to stop, man. They need to get with the program and understand that, like you said, the internet has opened up the world to these smaller town schools, these smaller town programs where coaches can go in there and see these kids play without even have to go to their games. And then the myth is gone that you have to go to a Power 5 school to get seen. Nope, it's not there anymore. What's the thing? You got Huddle, YouTube, you got some other the Air app, whatever it's called. It's happening, man. We said this. You've been on it for probably about a year and a half. I've been on it for 8 months, 9 months. We said this was finna change, and this wave is not going to stop. It's here.
It's here, and it's not going nowhere. The same way we see in the NBA, where guys, they found a way to get guys, you know, these local sponsorships and keep them in with those super max contracts. The market always recorrects itself, and this has been a long day coming for the market to recorrect itself. So when you got guys like Dabo Swinney, who he always pitching this bullshit. Oh, these deals are ridiculous. It's the same dude. Good old phone call, messing it up as always.
It'll get you every time. Yeah, man, he'll be back. But yeah, man, Dabo Swinney is a very, very different type of dude. He's always been very anti athletes. He's been very anti-athletes, anti-black kids doing what's best for them. I don't know the guy, never met him, but I see what I see. He's always speaking out about against kids doing better for themselves and who's Jordan's back.
Yeah,
he's always speaking about,
man, phone calls killing me
every time.
Bruh,
that's why I'll be on my laptop.
I don't know how to put my phone on do not disturb no more because when the update came, it switched the options up, so I got to figure that out. But I don't know what you were just saying, but this is the same Dabo Swinney who was talking about how kids. What are you saying about? Dang, I lost my train of thought with that doggone phone call. Go ahead. I'm a rock when he come back to me.
Well, but basically, he's anti-athletes getting what they should be getting. As long as he's getting his. Like we said, 10 mil. Go ahead. Yeah,
because he was speaking about when they first started talking about this NIL talk, which is about 6 years ago. This was a minute ago, like 2014, 2015. And he was saying, well, I'm just not a fan of kids having all this control and then who knows what's going to happen and when you give them all this power. Like, well, that's how the free market goes. This is a capitalistic market. This is not some when college sports started, these were professors who were volunteering coaching. These weren't guys getting paid millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And these coaches with these multiple revenue streams, shout out to Jalen Rose, who kind of eloquently pointed this out. You got a radio show. You got your post-game show. You got your booster club. You got all these revenue streams, and you can just get up and leave like that. You can leave a program in shambles like that. Speaking of taking scraps, that's where Mike Leach is on right now with his fourth school he's been at, leaving other schools not so great after his Texas Tech run. Still getting opportunities. Like, dude, look at Rick Pitino, the great Rick Pitino. Out there hiring prostitutes and doing all this stuff through this other coach, Andre. I played against him, actually. Andre. I forgot his last name. He was a cousin to one of my players. Huh? You say?
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, yeah. He's a cousin to one of my teammates at Prairie View when we played him. I forget his last name, but he was an assistant coach who was facilitating that stuff. And I'm only saying that this is public record. You know, I ain't snitching on nobody. But this is public record. So he was the one facilitating through that. And Rick Pitino had to, you know, exit out the back door, as it were. But this is a blue blood, tried and true coach. He out there cheating, being immoral. So they can do all this unscathed pretty much. But college players can't get paid off their own liveliness. Because the argument at first was back then, the primitive argument was, oh, well, universities, man, they shouldn't get paid. You get a free education when you know damn well these dudes do not. The high profile players, A, you're not going to class. B, you're not going to finish. C, you major in some bullshit that it's not going to parlay to a real job. General studies. Swahili.
General studies, dog.
Journalism.
Studies,
get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
You know, the one and done not going to class, man.
Come on. Ben Simmons showed
that. Just enough. If you're a one and done kid, you say Michigan.
No, I said Ben Simmons showed that. You remember Ben Simmons had that thing where he didn't go to class at all the second semester. He didn't go at all.
Yeah.
Shout out to Learn, man.
If I know I'm a one and done kid, I'm gonna do just enough in the fall semester. Then when the spring comes, I enroll in my class, but you'll never see me. You'll never see me. Never see me. And that's I guess that's the difference in basketball and football. Football, you got to stay 3 years, so there's more of the control that these coaches have. But they're really, really upset. And Doug Gottlieb, and I think he said in his tweet that something about the education wasn't as good at the HBCU. I beg to differ. I know plenty of successful people who have been to HBCUs and have doctorates, who are leaders in their field, who are principals, every type of thing. So that's what, but that's what Coach Sanders is preaching to these kids, not only about sports, but he's preaching to them about being pros in the other fields. And the NCAA has a commercial about that. Everybody can go pro, this and that, or whatever, which is true. You get a job in a career, you're a professional now. And so you can go pro in any other thing that you decide to do if you don't play sports anymore. And that's what he's selling to these kids. And apparently it's working. It's working. I don't understand. I know why they're mad. I really do. I know it was when I made that video yesterday, it was very facetious and you know, I was being sarcastic about it. But man, come on, man. We got to stop this, dude. We got to stop it. These are 18, 19-year-old kids, and you're mad because they decided to make a decision for themselves and their family.
Well, as you know, megalomaniac Caucasian dudes got this problem, in my opinion, that everything is cool as long as it's on their terms. And that's why you're seeing these old head talking points. Oh, well, you get a better education. Like, I just laid that out. Them dudes are not getting no goddamn education. Not like that. Not the players worth mentioning. Not Travis Hunter. He not going there for no damn education. Like, are we kidding me? Like, are we for real right here? 5-star #1 prospect in high school. You talking about education? Like, in my eyes, we talking about education, not the game. Education.
Not the game, though. We're talking about education.
What are we really talking about here? Like, I mean, I'm not saying college education is invaluable. I happen to have a master's degree. So I think it's pointless for me being in sales now. But I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't learn anything. But it's not imperative. You do that, you can go get a trade and learn your general stuff you learned before then and make a great living for yourself. So I just think that people, again, that old head talking point. Oh, well, quality education. These dudes, you know, like I know Will, the top players, they're not going to class like that. Them dudes are not taking the same thing because it's damn near a burden on them to go to class because they want to be at the next level because they're just that damn good. So, and I'm glad they get exposed with these old head talking points because these kids don't think like that no more. And that's what you're seeing because for the longest, that shield, meaning the logo on your product, that would overcome your lack of understanding of the player you're dealing with. Because that Clemson paw speak for itself. The horns, the UT horns speak for itself. But now you're opening people's minds now like, okay, let's just say I don't have the UT horns on me. What if I went to a place where a coach really got my best interests at heart and I'm around other players? What happens if I just go give it a try? And then you throw a lot, and I love his statement. We throw. I know I'm being a little long winded, but I'm gonna go somewhere with this. And in this little soliloquy he put out on social media, he laid out like all the players of the past, like the Doug Williams, the Jerry Rices, the Walter Paytons. Like these are Michael Strahan, damn near some of the best position players in the NFL history, right? Not Doug Williams, not Doug Williams so much, but the other guys, regarded as the best to ever play them positions, coming out of HBCU. So it can be done, and it has been done. So it's just that it's been so far out of people's conscious mind that you think it's just something that happened a long time ago. No. And literally at the time, the best talent was coming to the SWAC back then. So literally you just go back and you're gonna if you build it, they will come. If enough of y'all come, they're gonna come and they're gonna come rock with what you got going. Why? Because they want talent. At the end of the day, NFL want talent. I don't give a shit what school you came from. The NFL want talent. So now that old head talking
points, they don't care about the
man. I love this. I love this, man. Let me get a few of these comments, Will. It's because hold on one second for you, y'all. Let me get a few of these comments and let you rock. Let's see. 3B Fisher says they mad because they thought of an HBCU or FBCS playoff would destroy them. They mad because the thought of an HBCU. Oh, yeah. Now that would flip some shit on the head, boy. That would flip some heads. Yes, sir. Shout out to Terrence Ford. Shout out to Hoop Jargon and BTGS. Yes, sir. All day. Dante McCray said PVAMU. I see you, Cliff. Yes, sir. You know what time it is, man. SWAC run-ups in the building. Let's see. TV says a lot of salty college fans. They acting like one of the best slaves escaping it. Hey, I mean, I'm not real big on doing the race angle like that, but I don't think that's an unfair comparison. I'm just saying. It stands for us. Yeah, you like that Allen Iverson thing. Let's see. Deion has the ability to speak the truth and honesty about expectations and be real with them. I'm sorry. Expectations and be real with them. We're talking about life as a black man. There you go. There you go. HBUs. I mean, shout out to my boy Deshaun Brown, man. Big Ike alum in the building. Swoop, swoop. Deion for president. Hey, man. Deion 2024. Was it 23? Next election? 2024?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, Deion 2024. Yeah, y'all start that hashtag up, man. Y'all start that hashtag.
That we started.
While you doing that, hit that
right
like
here
button,
on
man.
This channel, man.
Yes, sir. Deion 2024. Y'all get them likes up, man. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I was just going back to what we were saying, that these kids are more exposed to stuff. And a lot of it is negative stuff, that's why you see more and more school shootings and stuff like that. But it also goes to the positive side of the spectrum. They're exposed to knowing knowledge, getting knowledge from the internet, seeing these public figures on a daily basis through Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be. If you follow a certain type of person who's speaking something that you're appealing to, that is appealing to your ears, you're going to want to go and see what that's about. And Coach Prime, he's a great salesman. He's a great man with his words. And so he's on social media all the time. I follow him on Twitter.
Absolutely.
He's always making a video, giving you inspirational, giving you inspirational quotes. And so, and then with his style and his swagger and his grace that he rolls with, that's appealing to these kids these days, man. It really is, because even though he's an older guy, he still has that appeal, man. That just appeal. It's going to continue to appeal to kids until he decides to stop doing it. It's just who he is, but I don't think he's going to stop doing it. It's just who he is, and kids seem to gravitate to that. And now you can see the fruits of the labor, man. I'm really, really excited, man. It just, again, started last year, and you said it, that he said, if y'all think this recruiting class is something, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are, man.
Yo. Deion, one of them kind of dudes, man.
Dudes. You got,
Go ahead.
I'm saying you got all types. You got transfers from La Tech, FIU, Miami, Florida State. I mean, the ULM beat Jackson State this year, and they got a transfer to come over there.
You think he didn't like what he saw out of that program?
Yeah,
being on the field with it.
Mm-hmm.
You think he didn't like what he saw? Yeah, that's how it go. And you know what I think about Deion, man? He's like a Jay-Z. He kind of one of them dudes. You would put him in any era in time, he would find a way to be who he is. You put him in the 1920s, Deion Sanders would be one of them dudes in Harlem Nights. You would know who he is, no matter where you put him.
Yeah,
put him in any era.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously not slavery so much, but You put him, you know what I'm saying, in the 1500s. He'd have been Deion the Great. You know what I'm saying? You put him anywhere.
Been a conqueror. Some dudes just have a way in being a leader and not even know it, man. It's just something about being a leader of men, and it's something my brother does very, very well. To be a leader of men where they can follow you through the gates of hell. Deion is that type of dude, and he's able to use his words to get you to do that. He's one of those coaches that, like, you know what, man, you can go jump 30 feet high, and Coach Sanders will put you in some form of confidence, say with some sly slick thing or whatever it may be. I'm stumbling over my words here a little bit, but he'll make you believe that you can jump 30 feet high if he told you could. Like, that's just the type of dude that he is, man. And it just proof is in the pudding, man. 11-1 undefeated in the SWAC. So
proof is in the goddamn pudding. And we called it. And shout out to True the King. Salute to you, brother, as well. Now, I want to say this. Now, I admire the sentiment. Now, he said, see how ESPN to call the number 2 recruit. Now, here's the thing. This actually isn't a slight, in my opinion. And here's why. Because 24/7 Sports, Rivals, and ESPN, they're 3 different entities that rank these kids. 2 out of the 3 had him as the number 1 prospect. They had ESPN always had him at 2. So this is when they was thinking he's still going to Florida State. So I wouldn't put that in this category. It's just a little counter. It's a little off-putting to hear them report that after it's already been reported the number 1. So this may be more of a ESPN trying to like promote that their scouting service is the legit one, more than trying to slight Deion's thing. So I will give you that information as we go forward. I don't think it was quite that, because he's always been number 2 on their polls. But ESPN, the same ones that took LaMelo Ball off their poll all the way when he clearly was a pro prospect. And a kid now who's quiet as kept is in the back rows of the MVP discussion, like the back rows, year 2. You know what I'm saying? The back of the back rows, but still, like, you know, he has that type of cachet year 2. So it's the same polling company
he'll be an all-star.
Yeah, he'll be an all-star this year for sure if he's healthy. So
be an all-star.
Yeah, this is a kid who got taken off the board completely when he went to Lithuania. So you got to kind of. I'm cool with the smoke for ESPN because it is political at the end of the day for a lot of stuff they do. So I won't dismiss that principle. But going back to what we talking about, the old head talking points, man, and this just gives me so much credence to what I've been saying, dude. This climate is about to change. And me and Will, back, you know, when Will had a smaller channel, when I wasn't monetized yet, we talked about the NIL thing. We was like, y'all get ready. It's going to change the game, because when you took the buffer off of the school obligation, you gave people opportunity to make money anywhere, you're going to, man, those tradition lines and what have you, those things are going to dissipate, man, because now you give people choice. And when you give people choice, they got a chance to think. When you got a chance to think, you're not jaded by, you know, quote unquote prestige, quote unquote coaching cachet. Now, well, Deion is, promoting mostly coaching cachet, but you also promote a culture that is more, that looks like you. And I think a lot of these coaches, Doug Gottlieb is not a coach, but, you know, he runs that good old boy network. Dabo Swinney, you better believe that most coaches in his financial bracket think like him. You better believe it. In bad conversations, they talk just like him. He just kind of he doesn't filter his thoughts well. The back of his mind goes to the front of his mind pretty quickly because he's a fiery guy. He's not very calculated in that respect. And if you listen close enough, his real heart seeks out a lot. Well, I can say a lot, but frequently. Let me say that. And man, I gotta get this down. Yashiao Bogan. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I just want to set the record straight. Yoshi, yeah. Big Yo. Shout out to Ghost, man.
Yoshi.
Between the Game Sports and Hoop, y'all see the big man. Boy, get your ass out. Shout out to Ghost, man. Boy, I love Ghost, man. That boy Ghost be on.
Ghost is hilarious, man.
Ghost gonna make you see if I can. I try to make you. I try to give you a rich. Yeah, I don't know how to make him a mod with StreamYard. I got to figure that out. But go ahead, Will.
No, you can't do it.
I see we 20 deep. You got to hit the like button, man. We 20 deep.
You got to go.
Let's keep it rocking.
You got to go to the stream to make him a YouTube stream to make him a moderator. But Dabo Swinney, you're making $10 million a year. Not for a lifetime. You're making $10 million a year at minimum. And that's just your contract
base salary
with the school. That's just your base salary, man. And I understand, again, when I made the video I did yesterday, I'm going to put it in the chat at some point. I was being facetious about it a lot. But I know why you're mad, because when you don't get those 5-star and 4-star recruits, it affects your winning. And when it affects your winning, that affects the boosters thinking like, okay, maybe he can't get the job done. And now that affects your job protection. If you're not winning at a collegiate level, this is why I say this is a business. If you're not winning at a collegiate level, they're going to fire you.
Yes, they will.
They're going to fire you. If you're at a Clemson, if you're at a Florida State or Texas A&M, which is the most overrated school in sports history besides Notre Dame, but A&M has never won anything in football, and they walk around with this chip on their shoulder for some reason. If you're not winning there, they're going to fire you. That's just the bottom line of it. This is why I say this is a business, man. And so I know why they're mad when there's those young bucks, those natural athletes are not deciding to go to their school anymore. It's like, okay, now I got to really coach, because great athletes can make up for bad coaching a lot of times. You know, coaches are there to put you in the best position to be successful. But this is why the black quarterback is successful a lot of times in college, because why offensive line doesn't protect. What do these quarterbacks do? They take off a run for 56 yards down the field. Vince Young. Like the list can go on and on, man. Russell Wilson, not so much, but when he was at NC State, he was running for his life at NC State. Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's so many names I can't even get it out there. But these great athletes make your coaching looks great.
Yeah.
And when your coaching looks great, that's how you get a $10 million. That's how you get a $10 million a year contract. That's what happens. And that's why they mad, man. They're not fooling me. As my mentor coach would say, you're not fooling Coach Patrick.
You gotta love when coaches call themselves in the third person. You gotta love those types.
In the third person.
You gotta love those
That's
types.
my boy, man. That's my boy.
But no, that's just true.
Oh my God,
man. Like one guy I can think of in particular that applies to is Mike Calipari. He does a really good job of bringing in talent that overrides his ability to quote unquote coach. And so when you do a great job of doing that, your mystique kind of overrides your ability to actually coach. And we're talking about a sport like basketball where you got 5 talented brothers on the court, because it's usually brothers. You sit back and look like a genius because you did your pre-work. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't do anything to add to that, but you put 5 to 4-star kids out there, you don't 9 times out of 10 it's going to succeed on some nominal level. And it's going to make you look better than what you are at coaching. And I think that Deion had a little bit of that in his favor, because if y'all remember, he missed 3 games for his surgery, but his system was in place. His guys are there. Yeah. He has a really good assistant coaching staff. Yep. He had the right staff, because you're only as strong as your assistant coaches, as you point out last live, Will. And these things are real. And these things are not the most talked about points, when we talking about stuff like this, because this is quote unquote boring. It's boring talking about your assistant coaching staff being competent. It's boring talking about your everyday game strategy being on point, where you have a self-running program. That's boring. Everybody want to just bring names up and go crazy on them. That's fine. But I think this is more important too, because these dudes going to stay mad, because it ain't going to change. It's going to only get worse for them. I promise you. If Deion was able to pull off that, top 55 recruiting class this past season, and that you talked about in your video yesterday. Huh?
I said on pennies, as you said.
On pennies. So comparatively speaking, he's doing this with $20 million less budget than his counterparts. I think Jackson's overall scouting and recruiting budget is like $1.5 million. Everybody else on that list, which is K-State, Wisconsin, I forget the other school, Nebraska, I believe, they all were at least $20 million more in budget than Coach Prime was. So sorry, his wave is changing. That's what I'm saying. You dropped him off anywhere in this world, at any time, he will find a way to be who he is because he's just that kind of guy. He's just that kind of guy. I don't like a lot of stuff that Colin Cowherd says, but these guys are called like force multipliers, meaning basically they have the ability to galvanize people, and not only that, for people to follow their direction, and not only follow their direction to success. Some people just got it in them. They're just innate. They just got it in them. They just know how to move people, and that's Deion. And I'm just so glad that he's, in this space doing it because, I want to give somebody else some flowers too, man. Coach Cynthia Cooper, because I interviewed her like when the pandemic first started, and I'm gonna rewind that video so y'all can check it out. She talking to Cynthia Cooper is like talking to Kobe. It's like if you just remove her voice and just heard her talk, like it was transcribed. It's like talking to Kobe. She's just one of them kind of people who just won't be defeated. And she was one of the first to come from the WNBA ranks and come to Prairie View. That's how I got to know Coop. She was a girls coach when I was playing at Prairie View, and now she currently coaches at Texas Southern. But she went back to USC to coach. She coached at UNC Wilmington. So this is a high level coach. She coached the Phoenix Mercury, 4-time WNBA champion. But to hear her talk, she just a force multiplier. Like she demands respect, she demands excellence, and she won't settle for anything else. And it's just some people can talk like that, they like that, but there's certain people who actually can live like that and actually have people follow them like that. And so I got to give Coop props for being one of the first to come back to the HBCU ranks and to start something special because she won many championships with Prairie View when she came. And I will say this, watching it, she came and bushwhacked that culture before then. And shout out to the late, great Bob Atkins. He played football under Eddie Robinson. He actually played for the Houston Oilers as well. He passed last year. But Big Bob was the coach before Coop. And Bob was just, he just was chill. Like he wasn't no basketball guy. He just was a SWAC legacy guy. Bob ain't really tripped like that. When Coop came in, she literally cut 70% of that team. She had like 9 girls that first year. She came and cut that whole thing. And she built it back up from the earth, and they won championship after championship after championship. So I do want to kind of point out how that looks for like a person who is that type of apex, alpha, if you want to call it that, or apex force multiplier. They galvanize people. That's just what they do because they're so good at what they do that most people can't duplicate.
And like you said, man, there are very, very select few. Ray Lewis is another person who kind of has that mold. And I know people are wanting him to come and coach in the SWAC. I don't know how he would do. But I want to...
I think he would kill it.
Read this comment. Okay.
You got my pun.
Okay.
He would kill it.
Yeah, I get it. I got it now. Shout out Ray Lewis, man. Don't come at me, dog. Saying that Coach Prime is shaking stuff. Big Spell, he didn't only shake anything up. He literally broke the internet yesterday. Him and this guy Travis Hunter. Like you've seen everybody talking about this. Everybody, like my mom called me, like, "Hey, this happened." I was like, "Yeah, Mom, I already know. I already did an episode about it." She's like, "Yeah, I just wanted you to know." I'm like, "Hey, man, everybody was talking about this, man. He broke the internet yesterday." And Travis Hunter, when things are being changed, it takes one person, and Travis Hunter happens to be the pioneer of this. And Coach Sanders was talking about this on that show with Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Jay Will this morning. All it takes is one, and now other people can look at it and say, well, if he can do it, why can't I? And he was saying that a lot of kids wanted to do HBCUs, but they were scared to do it. And he said Travis Hunter was saying that he wasn't scared of the situation. He understood the magnitude of what is happening. And now that makes you think, if this kid, from what I understand, he could have been number one as a receiver in the nation as well. And from the past 2 or so years,
he hit the ball skills. Yep.
Even throwing his direction. Look at that, a Trayvon Diggs or a Charles Woodson, which I hear a lot of people comparing him to Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson won the Heisman.
Yep.
Charles Woodson won the Heisman. So now you got, man, all it takes is one. So he's the first domino that's going to and there's going to be more and more and more. Grambling State, shout out to them. Hugh Jackson, new head coach. They got the transfer quarterback from UCLA.
Sure.
It's man.
No, it's gonna happen.
We called it, man. We said it. We called it, though. That's all I can say, man.
It's not about beating our chest.
Shout out to the
shout out to the chat, man. Y'all holding down. Shout out to the Russian bot in the building. You know you made it when the Russian bot showed up to your live stream.
All the time, man. I hate it.
But I think that's a great point. I mean, and to your point when you're saying about your mother who been a coach her whole career, so she's very abreast to sports. When last time before this season that she hit you about some HBCU information?
Nothing. My mom's a TSU alum, man.
But when she hit you about some HBCU sports information? Never. Yeah. So I mean, it's evoking something that's always been intrinsically in us that we're excited about now. We're excited about HBCU sports. I made the analogy on another stream. I was like Jerome Solomon for the Houston Chronicle. People have been on his ass for years about not reporting enough HBCU information for years. And you're just like, man, if y'all start clicking the articles more, we'll see the algorithm and I'll report it more. And so now I'm sure they ain't got no problems with that because you see these bigger entities starting to report HBCU stuff because they see those clicks. They see them clicks are hidden.
You got to.
Small channels are getting them clicks because y'all want to hear it. You just never had nobody put it out there like that. And I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad, that people who not so invested in it are reporting it because it's just good for it's good for the brand no matter who reporting it because we want everybody to consume this product because it's worth it. I've seen so many great things of me playing and coaching in the HBCU level. Now, I've seen some great athletes like a Bruce Eugene, who at one point was thought to be the Jets quarterback selection, but he just couldn't drop the weight. But watching Bruce Eugene play quarterback at Grambling State, oh my God, man. You never seen a fat dude move like this since like Brian Leftwich. He looked like a FCS Brian Leftwich. I kid you not, he was great. And I got to watch that like for free because me and him about the same age. Mm-hmm. But there's a guy like in normal conversation, nobody knows who Bruce Eugene is like that. And they should. Watching Tavares Jackson, the late great Tavares Jackson, he came out that same year, actually got drafted to the Vikings. He was Brett Favre's predecessor. That's like I got to watch that. And I'm like, damn. And then he did transfer from Arkansas, but I mean, he had 2 years at Alabama State. No, that's still HBCU sports. Watching David Hatcher, I don't think is it Brian Hatcher? DN for that same team for Grambling, watching him go to the Cowboys. I'm like, I remember Hatch watching him play at Grambling. Like, it's wonderful for me in real time. But at that time, nobody was reporting. Nobody gave a damn about HBCU sports like that. But these are impactful guys who make it next level. So this new era is switching the game all the way up. And y'all are seeing this real time, which is beautiful. Y'all seeing this real time. So all these, again, these old head talking points, while they mad about what's going on, you're going to stay mad because it ain't going to change. It's only going to get worse for you. If you upset, at it, it's only going to get more upset at it for you.
It's a renaissance. What's our go-to song, man? It's Return of the Mac.
Yeah, exactly.
It's back. It's back.
It's only gonna get worse.
It's back, man.
Y'all gonna stay mad for real. You gonna stay mad.
You gotta either get with it or roll over, man. Get with it or get rolled over, man. I just, like you said, man, even when I played at Stephen F. Austin, the Slim, about equal to SWAC, man. Some of my teammates, like, we played Southern, at Southern. And they was like, man, we got to go to Southern and play these dudes. And I'm like, dude, there are some big-time athletes out there, man, because that's when you were at PV. And I'm like, shit, like.
They had a good team that year. They had DeForest,
they walked
Riley,
in with 6'7", 6'8". Like,
they had a good team.
That was a very, very hard game. We ended up winning that game, but that game was hard. That game was hard. And it wasn't packed. They had our coach had a health issue that night before or whatever, but so we wasn't really focused. But that game was really, really hard. Their guards played well, they defended well, and it was like, man, dude, this game they thought it was gonna be an easy win. I'm like, bro, it's not, man. It's not, dude. Like, and so, but that's just the mystique of a lot of people around Texas and around the country. They think the SWAC is a lower tier conference, man. Dudes, it's still D1. Don't get it twisted. Like we did the TSU game the other day. They have 2 or 3 6'10s on their team, 6'9s, 6'4, 6'5, like, and they're all seniors. Like
easily
they're
beat a
battle
WAC
tested.
team. Easily beat a team in the WAC
Yeah,
conference. Easily. That was an easy win for TSU.
Easily.
On the
Easy
road.
win, man.
On the road.
Before Christmas break.
They easily beat the number 20 seed University of Florida. You understand this? Texas Southern went to University of Florida and whipped their ass on their court. That don't happen.
Yeah,
that don't happen normally, but
not a fluke win, not by a buzzer beater or something.
Yeah.
They won by 13 or 14 points.
They whipped their ass.
Like, from start to finish.
15 points on the road, dog. That's an ass whooping. That's an ass whooping. And let me say this, and because I think I got a unique story, because same school you went to, different times. I started off at Stephen F. Austin State University, and I remember I redshirted my freshman year, and I remember we played TSU at TSU and we lost. And I remember there was in D-Cuz, if you're still in the stream, I remember all the shit talking that was going on before that game. Like, man, we're gonna crush TSU. Of course, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid with it, and they lost. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward to when I played at Prairie View, I told people, like, we play a Southland team. Like, we it's the same level. Now, is it more disciplined a little bit? I'll go there. I'll go that far, yeah. Mm-hmm. But as far as we talking just talent for talent, it's not a great discrepancy like you think. Them dudes ain't just because they got more money in their program. It ain't a discrepancy like you think. And I said it because I know that I walked the walk. I know. I seen it. So D-Cuz still on string. He said, "And got a check for athletic department for 2 wins." Shout out to D-Cuz. I'm gonna switch. That's the first dude I took to.
I'm gonna switch to my phone.
You're gonna switch your phone, but yeah. So my point is, guys, y'all can't underestimate how great this movement is. This movement, I see y'all about 50 strong in this chat. So man, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all hit the like button on that, please. It does help the channel. If y'all appreciating the back and forward, man, support the channel. And shout out to my boy, Lil Big Nate, purchasing the product. If you like the product we putting out, Cash App CFranks11. If you want to super chat, that's cool too. Because we do put this on because and I won't speak for Will, but for me, I eat, sleep, breathe HBCU, man. And I was coming from a guy out of high school. I said I would never go to HBCU. Like I told you, I went to Stephen F. Austin to start off. I went to junior college after that, and then I finished up at Prairie View. I was like, man, I should have came straight to Prairie View. Like it was, and it's funny because I'm a legacy Prairie View. Like my mother, my auntie, my cousins went before me, but I just had the messed up mentality. But to the point of the point of the conversation, now guys don't have that same excuse no more. Now guys know that you can come here and do your thing. And I want to say this, Will. Now, don't be surprised on the basketball end if a guy like Mikey Williams, who will be the #1 prospect next year, don't be surprised if he chooses an HBCU because he's been saying it over a year now.
Yep, he has mentioned it.
Don't be surprised if Mikey Williams goes to an HBCU. This back when he was a little bitty now. I think Mikey Williams about 6'3" now.
Yeah, somewhere. He hasn't grown much. But I mean, the kid is he has dropped in the rankings, but he's still must see. He's must see. Like he really, really is. And now that you mentioned that, he doesn't need to go to a Power 5 school because he already has a deal in place.
Yeah, he got an NIL deal. Yeah.
He already has an NIL deal. So he can go wherever he wants and still get the exposure that he wants. Yeah, because,
dog, the veil is, I'm telling y'all, the veil has been lifted. It is off.
It's off.
Listen.
Coach Patrick would say the white hat is off, man.
The white hat is
the white hat.
Shout out to Coach Patrick, the muse for a lot of our sayings on this show. Including the worstest. The worstest.
The worstest. That's where
don't steal our stuff. We stole that from Coach Pat first. But no, I mean seriously, like because even like a guy like Trace Young going to Alabama State, I know he's doing all right over there. That's a big sign. Like, because Trace Young has a big social media following, so he's giving that program a lot of notoriety, just because he's a big time athlete. He is very prominent. If you play NBA 2K, he reminds me of the guy who's a character over there called MP, who's a social media star who went to the NBA. He reminds me how Trace Young is. And I had a guy on my team when I coached at Prairie. His name is DeJuan Carnegie, and he is he says he is. He's a millionaire now, but he was one of them kind of guys back in like 2008, 2009, who was like big social media personality, who just parlayed that into fame. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'll give DeJuan a lot of credit because He was doing this back when nobody was doing it. He used to, this thing called Ustream. You remember that, Will?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like the forerunner to like YouTube and shit, like where you can like live stream and all that. This dude used to Ustream himself going to sleep. I bullshit you not, and put the stream on Facebook. People will watch him sleep because he just wanted that attention. He wanted that, and there's almost a reason why the coaches didn't want him, because he was on YouTube like a big YouTuber when he was, again, this is 2009 era. Like this is before this was the thing for real. But DeJuan was doing that way back then, and he was seen as a weirdo. And now again, it's parlayed himself through cryptocurrency. Like he said, he's a self-reported millionaire. This is public record. He said, I believe him from the lifestyle he lived. And I told him he's gonna be somebody. Like, bro, you doing something I ain't never seen before. You're gonna be somebody. He tried to be a rapper. Like, all right, rapper ain't gonna get it. But yo, the other stuff you do, I was like, I don't know nobody like you. And he's successful. I give him all the flowers for that. But I just remember trying to rein him in as a basketball player playing at Prairie View, because he just was like, he had so many interests. So he was the precursor to the guys you see now, who now it's more systematic now. Guys know how to handle the social media aspect, handle the NIL stuff, and still practice. Like it's a new, like they're like hybrids now. And I think it's a great thing.
They have coaches now who their main job is to help kids with their social media in college. Like it's just the way the world has changed overall. What we've been out of college 13, 14 years now. I mean, that's a quick change in my opinion.
I don't like how you say it like that. Sounds so matter of fact.
I know, man. So it's tough, man. But we used to do some stuff when we was at SFA during Christmas break, man. Because this is after Because was gone. But like Matt and Scott and Josh and them, man, during Christmas break, like we literally made a movie because we were so bored about white fraternity guys, and it was called like something bro or something. Like if we had camera phones back then, we literally had to use a camera. Like we'd have been famous, dude. That's like all the stuff we used to do in practice, like all this type of stuff. If this was around when we were in school, oh my God, been famous. Just think about our high school practices.
Yeah, our high school alone, because we went to a hood high school, but we were some silly ass dudes at our school. We really were. And I'm thinking back now. So when I was coaching at Prairie View, man, when I played at Prairie View, we was a silly bunch. But when I coached, they were extra silly. But they were really good too. They were really good. I remember we used to do this thing where like we would take a charge anywhere, like. So somebody walking, and you just catch them slipping and take a charge like in the middle of the restaurant. If we was doing that, because YouTube was around, but YouTube was like, it's shaky back then. It wasn't, nobody really knew how to really use YouTube like that. If we was doing that, like, and making it like edited it properly, dog, we was just taking charges everywhere. Like, dog, it was so random and hilarious, dog. Somebody wasn't looking and they turned and they just followed everybody, dog, laughing. Just imagine that being part of the culture, like if we knew how to use it properly. But now, social media, i.e. me and you, this is a medium where you can make revenue, entertain people, promote a conversation, and everybody win out of the situation. But this didn't exist when we was in college, to your point.
We just normal folks out here, spreading some knowledge a little bit, and then it is what it is. And Doug Gottlieb and Dabo Swinney won't be the last. They won't be the last. There's going to be another guy. Hey, I think I saw that Urban Meyer got fired for Miami today.
Not Miami. Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah. He got fired.
Best believe he's going to be back in the collegiate ranks pretty soon.
Come to Prairie View. We'll take it. Come on. Come on over.
The guy.
That be some shit.
I can't stand Urban Meyer. He can coach a little bit, but he also was at schools where he got the best talent, especially at Ohio State.
He took over Jim Tressel's job where it was no job really to take over.
Yeah,
he just came with personality.
So he's going to be another guy that's going to have some issues. I know he's going to. He got issues right now, or he had issues with Jacksonville. And Trevor Lawrence is basically saying that the reason why they're having drama in Jacksonville is because of Urban Meyer. Like, come on, man. But what he's going to get another chance.
We've seen Nick Saban fumble that too. I mean, it is what it is. NFL is different. We've seen Chip Kelly fumble it. Chip Kelly never recovered since his fumble, but
He hasn't, man.
He should have stayed his ass in Oregon until Oregon would just pry him away.
Oh my God, he should have. No, he should have
blew that.
He should have signed a lifetime contract.
Yeah, he should have.
He had it.
Blew that.
He had it made. Oh my God, he had it made. My goodness, man.
Is he still coaching?
Yeah, he's coaching at UCLA.
Okay, he's still at UCLA. Okay.
UCLA, he's still there, man. Had it made, man. It's just, and Coach Sanders talked about this on the show this morning. He said they asked him, what would you do if these big schools start calling you?
That's a great question.
He said that, they will have to provide him something more than what he's getting, like not money-wise, but like mentally, physically, spiritually, and stuff like that. But he goes, man, they already calling. He's like, you better believe they already calling. They trying to understand the formula that he's using to get down there. What do you got going in Jackson? He's trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. And he's going to keep them. He's going to feed them with a short spoon. Mm-hmm. But they're going to have to do something tremendous to pry him away from Jackson State, at least until his sons are gone.
And he got his daughter playing too. A lot of people don't understand. His daughter plays basketball there. I'm gonna speak Deionese for you. Deion gonna need an unprecedented contract. That would take him away, and it's not gonna come immediately. It's gonna be after his boys are gone. You offer him an unprecedented contract, he'll go. Yeah. Now Deion don't need money, but dudes who have money, only thing they like more than the money they got is more money. That's just how they operate. Now he also Deion is smart because he has a very good ability to understand what they call it, be able to read the room. You leave right now, you look like a big ass hypocrite to a lot of people. Now, to me, I won't judge you because I'm not standing between no man and no money. But a lot of people gonna see your words of people buying in as being a hypocrite, and that's fair. I won't. I'll be like, man, you got a better opportunity, man. Take your opportunity. But Deion is a kind of guy. He's a shrewd negotiator and he's smart. Like I said in that video about before they played Prairie View in the championship game, I think he was sending some subliminal messaging with the original statement. I just think he's that smart. I just give him that much credit because I've only seen him to be that smart. I love when he dumped that water on that sportscaster guy when he was talking that shit about him when he played for the Braves. That was the greatest thing I've seen in my life. That's what Deion is, man. He gonna reel you in with his words, and then when he's ready to pounce on your ass, he gonna pounce on your ass because he know what time it is. So I said I had to say, he's just a guy that knows when it's time to move on something, and right now is not the time. Right now, you are starting a precedent that not only is it boosting your own legacy, other guys behind you gonna follow the Deion model. So you're gonna have a legacy that goes beyond your lifespan. Like Eddie Robinson. What Eddie Robinson did at Grambling, Eddie is always gonna get that respect because he up there with Joe Paterno as far as wins, as far as putting NFL guys in the league and what have you. Deion understands it's two tracks he's running: personal finance game and the legacy game. He knows that. He's that smart of a guy. So in my opinion, he's gonna always be cognizant of both of those things because both of those things is when he just can't coach no more, when he's done, when it's nothing else. People got so many lanes they're going to be able to basically, if we're going to compare this to the old world, there are going to be many statues of him. Whether it's verbal statues, whether it's literary statues, he's going to be a god per se, quote unquote, in a lot of capacities. Because even his pro career alone, playing 2 sports in one city, that's already unmatched. Like besides Bo Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Like that don't happen, right? So he's already cemented there, but now his post-career is going to be cemented with dual levels. Just watch. Deion Sanders is going to be probably the most recognizable name in sports probably ever. And it's because he's.
And just this season alone, this one full season in the fall, he's already cemented his legacy in HBCU sports.
Oh, shit, yeah.
This one season alone, like you said, him understanding the room and stuff like that, like the famous quote in New Jack City. Hey, this is way bigger than Nino Brown, man. It's way bigger than Nino Brown, man. He understands, like the kids say, he understood the assignment. He understands it.
He understood the assignment.
I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it.
But you think his kids don't keep him young though? His kids don't keep him on point? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Shadur does a great job of being himself, but also you can see that he takes a lot from his father. Shiloh, you don't hear too much about, different personalities probably. But Shadur has a lot of Deion in him, but he has a lot of himself in himself, if that makes sense. But he's only gonna get better. We ain't even talked about him this dream. He got a beast deal. He's the first college athlete on Beats.
That's dope.
He's the first college athlete, not a Power 5 school, not at Oklahoma. He's the first college athlete to get a deal with Beats. Dr. Dre. I did a video about that when it happened. The first. So again, there's another history happening. More and more history is happening. Coach Sanders, they go out and win the SWAC this year, undefeated. If they can win the Celebration Bowl, that'll be great. Shadur wins, first time ever. SWAC player winning the Jerry Rice Award, best freshman. Then he's the first player to get a Beast deal. And now you have the very first number 1 and number 2 overall highest rated recruit to go to Jackson State. So history is steadily being made with this program in that city.
Who gets that? Who gets that? Number 1. You know what? And I want to go back to this shit too. With your boy, man. Player hater number 1, man. Let me put him back on the screen. Player hater number 1. You're right. You're right, Dabo. These deals are ridiculous. Dabo, do you know? Y'all gotta understand this, man. How many backdoor gentlemen's agreements go with these guys going to these programs? Man, I hope I get a chance to break this story, man. And it's a kid I reported that plays for Donda Academy, Rob Dillingham. I've been in contact with his father, man. And I would, without giving too much information, there have been a lot of underhanded stuff why his son left Jeff McGinnis's program in North Carolina and why he's at Donda Prep way out here in California. It ain't because he's just a great guy. Kanye West is just the greatest guy, and I'll put it that way. So it's a hell of a story about to break on that shit. And I'm very privy on it. I'm going to be careful how I share that. But his father has been in contact with me based on my video I put on YouTube. And I talked to him on the phone several times. So hopefully we can get that story out. But when I'm talking on here, I'm not just making this shit up. I want to put it that way. I know several players that have gone on visits getting $100 handshakes, if y'all know what I mean. Getting shown a good time with a bag person who facilitates the good time on your official visit, if you know what I mean. I'm not making this shit up. So with the Robert Dillingham situation, again, I'm only saying this because his dad has made this public already. This is public information. Again, I ain't snitching over here in hoop jargon. However, to watch that play out real time, y'all be surprised how these games go, man. And I'll leave it at that. And the name that's gonna come out is a name that's been out a lot. Well, I think I told you the backstory about this. Yeah. So when this story breaks, now hopefully Mr. Dillingham give me the story because I definitely want to break it. But a lot of people have come to him for this story, and he says he wants to bring it through me. So hopefully that happens. So we'll see. But again, I'm not making this shit up. Israel Carey says, great show, Phil. I appreciate that, man. We here just, man, we're doing this for the culture because this need to be out. This information need to be out. This storyline need to be out because if you let ESPN control it, nobody gonna hold Dabo Swinney foot to the fire. Nobody gonna hold Doug Gottlieb, didn't he get like a assault case of stealing some shit when he was in Notre Dame?
Something. Yep. His dad.
Yeah, I think he was stealing some shit back in the day.
Handled that, and that's how he got to Oklahoma State, something like that. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna hold their feet to the fire. Why? Because those are stalwarts in that faction that they have. These are guys who basically are basically Teflon. Like you can't really attack that character, even though it's easily to be attacked because it goes against the bottom line. We serve no agenda over here. We just talking the real. We got the best interests at heart over people who look like us in the sport in general. Like, I mean, we respect sports. We play at a high level. We know what it takes to be in those trenches, and it's not easy. So for you to put all this onus on kids to make adult decisions as far as quote unquote loyalty and all that, when the coaches ain't loyal, you miss me with that bullshit. Man.
Any chance they get, they out. Anytime something better, the prettier woman, as we would use it in terms of, man and woman, if the prettier woman comes along and offer you something a little more than what you got, 9 times out of 10, that person is gone. That man is gone, man.
Absolutely.
He's out the door, man. And going back to the Dillingham situation, this is why this is one of my favorite movies. For anybody who's never seen He Got Game, this is the truth. That movie was very, very, very,
That
very
is true.
accurate, man.
Story.
He Got Game was before his time. It put it right in your face, and folks just thought it was just entertainment. No, sir. It happens.
Yep.
It happens. You got the Beckys, you got all them type of people around, man. Everybody wants something from you. Everybody wants something from you when you're a top-notch person, top-notch kid. Everybody. How you think AAU coaches get on a coaching staff at a college?
I'll give you this. How you think Michael Beasley ended up at Kansas State of all schools? You know his AAU coach ended up on the coaching staff at Kansas State.
Yeah.
Y'all think all this shit is sweet? Y'all out y'all mind. I got a homeboy who's my homeboy who I won't out his situation, but he had to take a year off coaching because of some shit like this. And he's a high profile coach. And I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Ken all says it's different when the HBCUs get to do what the P. There you go. Hey, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. It ain't no fun.
Give me a DJ DeMarco for that one, man. Give me
Hold on, man. Let me get the. Hey, it ain't no fun, baby. Because it's cool when you do the little, gentleman's agreements and, just, hey, that's the cost of doing business and it's no big deal. This is just what we do. What they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? That's what everybody say, right? But when the rabbit got a chance to cheat? Oh, well, it's just not fair. And all. Oh, tell me more. Tell me more. Let me give my damn self a DJ DeMarco.
Yeah.
Give my damn self one. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Ain't no fun, dog. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the goddamn gun.
And I see people out there talking about how many? I can't see it.
Strong, man. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all do that.
Real, man. Hit that like button, man.
Yeah, there you go. You ain't cheating till you get caught, man. Y'all hit the subscribe button on my channel as well as Between the Game Sports. Let me highlight his comment so you can hit up his channel as well. Y'all, because it's important, man. Y'all support is what keep this whole machine going, which is the undercurrent of reporting this HBCU experience. And again, if you want to support the product, Cash App CFranks11, Super Chats, man, get priority at all times, man. And because it's imperative. This is important. This is super important, man. Super important that this stuff gets out. Oh man, Jay Quinn Moore. I think I nailed that. Change is coming. Shout out to HBCUs. Absolutely. Michael Campbell says, brothers, this is bigger than football. It's going to be a movement in Black America. HBCUs, let's build. Well, I hope so. One thing I do want to say is sports is sports, man. It's very hard to permeate sports change over actual social change, which is actual organized movements. So you take EBT. Hell yeah.
Hey.
Comment of the day. That's funny as hell. Man, you done took me out trying to be serious. You done took me. Oh man, I can't even be serious no more. But to your comment, I hope so, man. I hope so. All I know is in Black America, we start moving in a sense that we are more cohesive and being continuously doing it. Then that will provoke change. Those little spurts, they're cool to make you feel good, but if we're not following through all the way, in my opinion, it's kind of for naught. But this is a start. So I'm not poo-pooing the start because I'm a SWAC guy. So I'm in hog heaven being able to report this shit. Because 2 years ago, I report this, ain't nobody watching no stream like this. That's just facts. Shout out to Primetime, man. Always on the channel, man. Y'all love Jackson State University Tigers. Yes, sir, man. Y'all are the bell of the ball right now. I can't hate, man. Ken House, I love that PV hat player. I got my NBA from there. There you go, man. I got it from the bookstore. Because I was like, man, I don't have enough PV stuff. Because all my PV stuff was like PV basketball stuff, like getting to me free from the program. And then here's the funny part. I was about 40 pounds lighter back then. And all that shit is big as hell. Back then we want all that the big hoodie. My shorts are so big, man. I'm gonna stop my camera and go find my game shorts. I still got them. Them shorts are huge. Them things. I'm 6'7". Them shits come like past my knees. But now I was like, man, I'm gonna go buy me some new PV stuff. So I went and hit the 2 years ago. I bought like $100, $150 stuff. So appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Go ahead, rock me. I'm gonna go find my shorts here so I ain't capping.
I just want people to continue to understand what's happening. Hopefully that we are continuing to understand what's happening. Like he said, this is bigger than one person. This is bigger than one coach. This is bigger than one university. Got to continue to add on. And I've said it in my streams and my lives that I've done. When you win, people will take notice. When you win, that's when you have investors. That's when you have sponsors coming in. And now what this is happening with a guy like Travis Hunter coming over, it's going to make other high-profile athletes want to come to HBCUs. And what that's going to do, that's going to force more money people to come in. They ain't going to want to leave. They don't want to be left out, trust me. When it affects the bottom dollar, folks are going to be like, okay, wait a minute. We got to figure something out here. And then that's going to affect the recruiting in other schools in the SWAC. I live Grambling State, who just got the transfer quarterback from UCLA. Alabama State is going to have to step their game up. FAMU is going to have to step their game up. Bethune-Cookman, Prairie View, anything. All this is because of the primetime effect. And me and Hoop Jargon talked about this last Thursday, I think. Matter of fact, I think it was last Thursday. And that was just a random video and topic that we did. And that video ended up doing, I want to say almost like 2,000 views. Last time I checked, it was probably like 1.8. So it's probably up to 2,000 now. So attention, winning brings attention. And when attention comes, money comes. It's the, what's the thing we used to do in the science project we used to do in school, cause and effect. What's the name project we used to do in school? God damn it, I can't think of it. The hypothesis.
You talking about the science fair project?
Yeah, hypothesis and all that other stuff. All that other crap.
Conclusion with all them shits I forgot, man. That's like 5th grade.
I hated it, dog. The tri-board, the three folks.
Yeah, you gotta go get you a tri-board. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Those are some of the greatest times because you could just like some of your. It's funny. The guys who I see my age now, me and you, I'm 38, you 37.
Yeah.
Some of the people who had the worst projects, they still some struggling human beings right now. It's funny how pathetic it is. I mean, I was coming up with duct tape on their board and something like you showed up, dog, laughing at people's science fair projects, dog. It wasn't no time. It wasn't no time like laughing about struggling science fair projects.
Choke them on water.
I used to love them days because you knew it was no instruction. You just get your little presentation out the way and you just laugh the rest of the time.
Hey, you knew somebody. You see them come in, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna be good." He ain't do nothing.
It's about to be garbage. Oh, I used to love Science Fair Project Day, man. Damn, I forgot about that.
Oh,
and they came in with the, one come with the poster board and they folded it 3 like, oh yeah, boy, it's about to get destroyed, right? It's about to get destroyed. I was like, yes. Can't wait till you go and present that bullshit.
Somebody about to give me gold, dog. Oh my god.
Well, I had a ruthless science teacher too, boy. He was actually a bodyguard for the Houston Rockets at the time. His name was Robert Wesley.
Yeah, Mr. Wesley. Oh,
yeah, God. Mr. Wesley. Yeah, that was my 6th grade. Oh man, boy. He's let people have it, dog. He had to be on point in Mr. Wesley class, man. He didn't play that.
That's some funny stuff, man. My God.
See, he got these big ass PV shorts. Now, these things are humongous, dog. Kids now wear them on their thighs now. Yeah, this is what we wore in 2005, 2006.
Oh, that's funny, boy.
Terrible.
I got a headache.
Let's see, man. And Michael Campbell, great comment, bro. He said, my organization, Black Economic Summit in 2023, and connecting Black sports and media groups. Man, let me know about that, man.
Me too.
Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, same name, Hoop Jargon. Man, I'll be happy to be a part of that, man. I like to build these networks because it's very necessary, man. We got to get guys on board of what we're doing and keep people on point, especially with social media. Sports media thing, because it's a lot of untrained people in this. I've been lucky enough to be able to follow the Texans. Cover the Texans, cover the Houston Rockets. via my boy Richard Walker. So I do my Cowboy show every Sunday. It's called Straight No Chasing Cowboys Podcast. So I'm media trained, but a lot of brothers aren't. But I think if you got that network together of people who are, it makes for a better product to present this information. So I love that, man. Let me get these two and we'll let you go again. Travis Hunter, president at the Jackson State University, create the prongs in economics: collaboration, collective, and cooperative economics. Absolutely. Good evening, brother. Congratulations on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Prime time. Appreciate you as always. Well, I guess, man, you want to open the panel up, Will, for a little bit?
Yeah. If anybody want to jump in, man.
Let's get some of y'all on here, man. If y'all want to come up here and talk a little bit about what's going on, the player Haitian, the haterade, I'm going to let y'all get a chance to do that.
Boys is liking it, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Go tell somebody about
subscribe to the channel, do all that.
Yeah,
it helps, man. More than y'all know. It helps more than y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I put the link out there. So anybody want to hop on and speak their piece?
Y'all make sure y'all
about what's going on with this climate going on. So how that go along, get along, folk. Don't like what's going on. Shout out to Kwame Brown.
Hot, man. And what's crazy is, man, I did that video last night off the whim. And man, you know me personally. I'm a very cool, calm, and collected dude. It takes a lot for me to get upset, especially in my older years, dealing with some health issues and stuff. So I try to remain calm on a lot of stuff. But man, they had me hot last night, man. I'm steadily seeing stuff, man. I'm like, oh, this and that, and I'm just like, you know what, man? I'm gonna drop a video about it. And I did that like at 10:30 last night my time, and woke up this morning. It was at like 2200 or something like that. Oh,
that's strong. Ain't nothing worse than drop a video and nobody look at it. You be like, damn, all right. Y'all ain't got no love for Death Row? Well, let it be known then.
For real, man. But y'all make sure y'all leave feedback, man. If y'all like me and him together doing shows like that, y'all make sure, man, because we working on some stuff behind the scenes.
Absolutely. We want to make a better product for y'all, man. So y'all feedback does help. Shout out to the cat named Rap God. He be on my videos like, hey, who you might want to turn the volume down at the end of your. That boy been giving some candid reviews.
Somebody hit me with that before too. I was like, dang, I forgot to turn it down when I was editing.
Yeah, I mean, it helps us be better, man. It really does, man. Because me and Will aren't the most tech savvy guys ever existed, but we got a lot of basketball knowledge. We got a lot of general sports knowledge, and that's kind of what we focus more on. But I mean, y'all critiques help us to be more cognizant of it. Like now we know, okay, I might need to pay attention a little more to the editing part of it because we just ain't no natural editors like that. This hate coming from the 1865 law and the 1638 doctrine of exclusion. I don't doubt that one bit. What I do know is the powers that be don't like balance shifts. When people are empowered who normally are not, that is going to have a automatic conflict of interest. Because why? Because attention, money, revenue, it exchanges hands the improper way, the way they see it. And so, of course, the natural thing to do is to basically sully the process. When you sully the process, you try to recapture your stake in the market. Problem is, just selling it, that's not gonna get it, man. People for real, legit, believe in this new experience. And you just shaming it, that's not gonna take it away. It's not gonna take it away. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You talking down on the education, quote unquote, or the actual facilities, that shit don't run no more, man. You're gonna have to find a better way to appeal to these athletes because, again, like I let in, their mind's been open. They're more privy to understand the real. And the real is, if you are bold enough to do more business with your own, you boost the economy within yourself. You're still gonna get the looks. If you're good enough, you're gonna get the looks. That's not gonna change. You're gonna get the looks. So I'm just, just crazy excited for this new era because it's just something that, I mean, again, me being approaching 40-year-old man, I've seen it the other way. It's just like HBCU always been regarded as inferior. And then once I got a chance to actually attend HBCU and play sports, I was just like, I don't see the inferior. I don't. I see some lack of funds. I do see that. I'm not gonna sit here and cap like that's not true. But as far as the overall product, the overall experience, I don't see inferior. I just don't. You know what made me want to go to HBCU was the movie Drumline, of all things. When I was at SFA watching Drumline, I was like, damn, I want to go to HBCU. And I almost went to Southern. Funny backstory, my coach, the assistant coach, Rennie Bailey, he was telling me about he had some connections because he went to La Tech. He said he had some connection to Southern. So he put me down with Coach Smith. I want to say he was one of the assistants to Coach Ben Jobe, the legendary Coach Ben Jobe. So, Coach, if y'all don't remember, Coach Ben Jobe led that Southern team that beat Georgia Tech like in 1994 in the NCAA tournament. But unfortunately for me, in 2002, Coach Jobe got fired. So when Coach Jobe got fired, when I talked to Coach Smith, he was like, man, I would love to have you because I'm transferring in from SFA. I would love to have you. I just don't know if I'm going to have a job, so I got to wait to see what coach is going to come in so I know if I even have a job. I was like, damn, I respect that. And so Southern Baton Rouge was going to take me in straight out of Stephen F. Austin. Funnier backstory, I called, because I didn't know what Southern was. So I called Southern New Orleans, Suno, which is like a D2, D3. I called them bastards, and they was like, well, I need to see some game film on you. I don't know nothing about you, blah, blah, blah. So the smaller school was skeptical. The bigger school was ready to take me in just off rip. So that's a funny backstory in my life with my Suno and Southern Baton Rouge stories. Man, shout out to AB the Hero, man. AB the Hero, hey, if you want the content on the Ball family, LeVar Ball, LaMelo, Jello, and Alonzo, man, this is your guy right here, AB the Hero. Y'all check his channel out.
Yeah, for real.
He just recently went to the mansion. I had the opportunity to go there as well. And he got some great content from there, man. Me, I'm just too lazy. I should have been put that shit out, but AB, you did your thing, bro. All right, Michael Campbell says inferior is a word they use to describe black people under slavery mentality. Well, I think in life, inferior is a word that is used to make anybody who is seen as less than to stay less than. Because you see that in all parts of the world. So I don't make it exclusive to that. Because you're looking like in Syria and all these other places, like that same rhetoric goes on. India as well. So it's not exclusive to slavery. It's kind of like a dominant, the bourgeoisie, the have and the have-nots. That's kind of, the world does that everywhere. Brazil as well.
That's just life.
Dominican Republic.
I said that's just life, man. There are people.
Everybody does that.
Man, it is what it is. And I go back to that story about you leaving SFA then going to PV. I remember going with you to sign when you went to go sign your letter of intent.
He sure did come with me.
And Coach Hawk was like, man, you play? I was like, yeah, man. It's like, man, why don't you go come over with me? And I'm like, no, man, I'm gonna stick it at it. I look back at it sometimes like, dang, like, but life works its way out some crazy sometimes. Man, yeah, I went with you to the day you went to go sign your letter.
That is so true. I remember that. When I signed my national letter of intent. Yeah.
Your Hawk was tripping.
That's crazy. Damn, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Man, been rocking forever, man.
That's crazy. Shout out to Willie Shotwell, man. That's the name of my middle school. Will went to same middle school. Prime time understand what these young men go through. He speaks the language. Absolutely. In teaching, we call it differentiated instruction. When you meet kids on their level, you get better results. And Prime knows the level they speak on. That's why you bring in a little Tatiana like Brittany Renner, because the guy's gonna react to a pretty girl with nice little hindquarters on her. Right? You bring that in, that's instant. I'm paying attention now. No matter how bad her reputation may be, she's a Jackson State alum. She plays soccer there, and she is a Instagram model, and that gets your players' attention. So she was teaching them about how to avoid getting gamed up and all that stuff. So yeah, man.
This is the game within the game that we've been speaking about. Why do you think there are so many assistant black coaches? Because these assistant coaches are the ones who initiate the contact of recruiting. And then when the assistant coach walks into the house, black parents want to see black men. They want to see it. It's just the way it goes, man. Like it or love it, like it or hate it, or whatever it may be. This is just how the game is going, man. It's been going. People want to see people like themselves everywhere. And it goes not only in sports, but in business. This is why family members who get in high position hire family members because they want people around them who they can trust, who looks like them and understands their struggle, if it is a struggle, whatever it may be. But this is why you see so many assistant Black coaches, and you strive to see more Black head coaches. This is a thing. This is not a made up myth that people are just wanting to happen, thinking about happening. This is a real thing, folks, and y'all need to understand the game within the game that we've been speaking about.
Thanks. Yeah, and I'm Mike. What year are you talking about at Prairie View? I can clarify that for you, brother. Yep. So it's game within game, man. You got to understand. Yes, your Black coaches are the ones who put the fielders out first point of contact, like you said, and they're crucial because that's the make or break point for your program. And then once the other coach comes in and cleans it up, it's already off the rapport built off of the familiarity. So yeah, very, very, very cogent point there. Let's see. GSH everything says, hope Travis set a tone towards HBCU so long that name ranking. I'm sorry. So that big name ranking athletes take their towns home. Yep. I hope so. Michael Campbell says again, brother, United States President Andrew Johnson stated that Black people were inferior 3/4 of human and intellectually. Yes, we understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Fact of the matter is we are a lot past that point. Now, not to say that a lot of people don't still feel that way. I mean, we're only 13% of the population. We understand that. We also understand since that point, we have a lot more things that are our advantage that we need to take advantage of. We have a lot more talents that can be openly expressed and used. And I think it's imperative that we focus more on the opportunities we do have and work with the confines we have, because there are a lot of other factions of people, i.e. African immigrants, who move in a more cogent fashion or on code, as it were. And I think we can take a page out of that playbook because, as you know, a lot of those type of individuals don't associate themselves as the same as what you call ADOS or African-American descendants of slavery. We don't quite walk the same walk in this country, if that makes sense. So if we could kind of be more tribal in that sense, I think it would help us out more as people as a whole. Let's see. Charles E. Morris says, facts. You know what time it is. Mel King says, I'm a product of a Black university, and congratulations, Coach Prime. Absolutely. AB said that's fact. Coach, between the game sports, we spin that facts, man. That's why we run like Shaq and Kobe around here. See, Black brother, I used use the law and Supreme Courts where I get my facts from the history. Black people are the only people in American history that is tied to law and economics, for sure. I don't detest that one bit.
We're not denying it.
Yep. Don't detest that one bit. Great conversation. Appreciate that, man. Again, man, my whole point of this channel, I just want to make you think. I try not to bombard you with stuff that is just fodder as I see it. And I'm not going to lie, I get a little lazy sometimes because I do have a full-time job outside of YouTube. But when I'm on, I like to talk about stuff I'm passionate about because I feel like I'm giving you the best version of my commentary. And I'm not just trying to fill something time-related in. And same thing, I'm sure Will the same way. Because we have a lot of these kind of conversations off camera. And this is kind of what we talk about, like right here all the time. I think it's important that these conversations take place so you understand, and not necessarily from being upset, but just understanding the game, understanding things. Because we can easily get emotional and just be cussing the whole stream. That's just kind of not me or Will's style. And so, I mean, you can speak for yourself. I don't want to speak for you, bro. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. You want to put out good stuff and informative stuff where people are thinking and testing their mentals, as my man, what's my man Marshawn Lynch said, man. Testing their mentals and all that other stuff.
Make sure your chickens and
get your chickens right.
That dude was crazy.
Shout out to Marshawn, man. Crazy, great. He's a great soundbite, if anything, man. But
yes, he is.
You can tell he's not a dummy though. But it's just something that we like you said, we talk about off camera a lot, and I think that deals with it comes from the parents that we have. Both our moms were teachers, and so we understand the plight of a lot of things, and we also are able to be smart enough to understand that life was much bigger than teaching and education outside of the school system. So this is what kind of stuff needs to happen. Information needs to be spread as long as it's good information, and we hope that we're providing great information to others to make them think and understand where we're coming from. We're both out the hood. We're both out of Acres Home in Houston, Texas. And it's funny that Texas is the only place where we'll make our hoods a city. Like we claim it as acres homes.
Oh, so true.
So man,
So
but
true.
we've seen both sides of the spectrum, as I guess we can say, and so it's only right that we are able to give back in a certain capacity in the best way we know how. So that's it.
There you go. Coach Pronsley put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Hey, man. Put me on the team so I can just be on the sideline and just act like I did something.
And
I think I got a year eligibility left.
On the sideline so I can report. So I can
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
knows somebody out there where I can get on the sidelines, man. I'm trying to get the.
Damn, it's a hell of a comment right here. I was in the freshman class with Walter Payton back in 1971. I owe all of my professional success. Damn.
Wow.
That's a hell of a story, man.
Yes.
Damn.
Did you get to meet
that's
Walter?
Awesome, man.
Did you get to meet him and talk to him? What was a young Walter like? I would love to hear that.
Yeah, man. If you want to give us a little bit of information, man, how it was to be with Walter Payton, man.
Yep.
I would love to hear about that.
Man, somebody jump in on the stream, man. The stream link is in the chat, man. Y'all come in here. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're open.
We'll drop it again, man, just in case y'all want to do that.
This has been great.
See, Michael Campbell, I spoke on Wall Street in 2017, 2018 HBCU's workshop concerning Coach Deion Sanders doing Eddie George is my homie. That's dope, bro.
Yeah,
keep doing the Lord's work, man. You're doing critical information, critical work that's going to help the framework of our HBCU system as far as sports information is concerned and what have you. Because the infrastructure has to be there for it to be organized, for it to go out in the right direction. So salute to you on that, bro. So we lost 7 years in a row. Everyone is SWAC. It's our time. So yeah, y'all was getting y'all last week. Y'all remember that last stream? I called y'all records out.
It was 4-8 last year. That's what I'm saying. This is a historic season in itself. And this is why I said Coach Sanders and Shadur and the rest of the coaching staff, they have secured their legacy off of just one season. It's already cemented. And I you know what's crazy is, you know what I think was going to happen? I wouldn't be surprised a documentary comes out about this. That's the way the things are going now. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a JSU documentary coming out. I know Coach Sanders does something with Barstool Sports, but people like Netflix love this kind of stuff.
Well, people they always got the official ones and the non-official ones, so you know how it go.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. Y'all come back to this stream in about a year or two. I wouldn't be surprised if a documentary happens, man. It's just history in the making. History in the making. And if it do happen, they need to call me and put me on there so I can get my little money.
There you go. Deion underscore says Texas A&M defensive end is highly considered at Jackson State University. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you know, that's what I was gonna say. You mentioned like it only takes one. Man, this YouTube video I saw not too long ago when it's like dogs hopping over a fence, and it's crazy. I mean, it's a silly video, but at the same time, it's prophetic. So basically, in the video, it was just one. It's like I say about 10 dogs in a kennel. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see it. Dogs jumping gate. I don't see it, but I'll describe it to you. So basically, it was a kennel with all these dogs, all different kind of sizes, and one small one was just climbing on the cage. I would say it's probably about an 8 to 10 foot high cage. It was tall. He's slowly climbing. All the other dogs just kind of jumping on the cage a little bit and just barking. You just see him climbing. He climbs over it and jumps over it. All the dogs just hurry up and climb and do it after him. It's funny because it's a funny video, but that is how humans are.
It makes sense.
When somebody show you they can do it, oh shit, it can be done. You ain't thinking no more. It's just reflexive now because you took that lid off limitations. And I think that's what you're seeing right now with the Jackson situation. So guys who just a little too scared to make that move, you ain't scared no more because you seen it done. So now it's normal. So, you know, to juxtapose what we're talking about to that analogy of that dog video, I think that's indicative of like even human behavior.
Yeah. Once, and it goes to say this: what's normal was once not normal. Like same thing with COVID, I guess you can say. People wearing masks. Masks weren't a thing to do before COVID happened, and now that is considered a norm. Like, and so again, all it takes is one one person to change the narrative. And so again, a lot of stuff that is normal now was once seen as not normal. Like you got again, somebody somewhere, these kids, they decided in basketball especially that we're going to start rolling our shorts up more and more. And that became popular somehow because one person decided to do it. Same thing with you can go back to the Fab Five. I mean, they were wearing smaller shorts back then before the Fab Five. But the
long shorts, black socks.
Black socks. You never saw that.
Bald
you
head.
never saw bald head like. And then my oldest brother was in that era, so they whole Eisenhower, everybody had bald heads. You had you had high school kids who had waves, rocking bald heads or the shortcut with the part down the middle. Like it takes one person for things to be. That's how back in the day it was trending. That was trending if you want to use it as today's term. Like that was trending, and so now with Travis Hunter, I keep wanting to say Travis Scott, unfortunately, but now with Travis Hunter, he was the one, he's the pioneer. And so you're going to see the trickle-down effect more and more, especially after this next year. The 2023 class, you're going to see it happen again, and it's going to be more than one.
Yeah, I agree. Michael Campbell has a question for us. Brothers, who would you say who was the greatest basketball high school team you played against or seen play? I know I got my answer. Who you got?
I'm pretty sure it's the same. I got a chance to play against 2 All-Americans in the high school. My junior year, they were seniors. One went to the University of Texas, one went to Duke. They both played in the NBA. Willow Ridge High School is the best high school team I've ever played against. I mean, they ended up with like 4 or 5 D1s on their team. Ivan McFarland went to Oklahoma State, and then TJ Ford went to UT, and then Daniel Ewing went to Duke, and there was another kid, I can't think of his name, but they were the greatest team I've ever played against, and they destroyed everybody. They won the national championship that year. The best team I ever seen play that I didn't play against. I mean, probably Oak Hill with Carmelo Anthony.
That's my answer. Oak Hill.
So
unreal.
Oak Hill with Carmelo Anthony. I mean, I saw LeBron play in AAU. I never seen him play in high school. But just unreal, man. Then a close second was Dallas Lincoln with Chris Bosh. Seeing them play.
B-Hop and
B-Hop was just
that was a really good team.
Best team I ever played against personally was Willow Ridge High School, about 30 minutes outside of Houston. I mean, they were just unreal. And we played them well. And then Daniel Ewing he went All-American mode. Like he literally went All-American mode in the fourth quarter. And it was, I mean, he was hitting contested jumpers like it was nothing. And I'm just like, no.
Shooting deep.
No, there's nothing we can do. Kenny Taylor. Oh my God, how did I forget Kenny Taylor? Kenny Taylor went to Baylor and UT. Kenny Taylor was shooting half-court shots before it became popular, before stuff. And LaMelo was doing in high school. But those dudes there, man, like TJ Ford was a one-man fast break. And I mean, one-man press break. There's nothing you can do about him. And unfortunately, he had injuries in college. But TJ Ford was De'Aaron Fox, who now plays for the Kings. Back then, De'Aaron could shoot a little better than him. But TJ, I mean, sneaky hops, super quick, super athletic. But best time I ever saw, just like you said, with Carmelo at Oak Hill. I mean, unbelievable.
Play exactly the same way as he played right now.
Exactly.
Or in his prime. Play the exact same way. It's nothing you could do with no Carmelo Anthony. I've never seen nobody that good in person.
No.
I was just like, all right, I don't know what my career gonna be. This was our senior year of high school. I was like, I don't know what our career gonna be, but I know I ain't gonna be that dude right there. That's just too good. And he's big, like he's big and tall.
Yes.
Like Hassan Adams, who's a big time Arizona recruit. I think Hassan Adams went to the NBA for a little bit too.
Yeah.
He played for Westchester. Carmelo Anthony embarrassed that dude. Like them dudes ain't belong on the same court, man.
No.
That's another pro. They ain't belong on the same court, man. And we see how the career shook out.
Yeah.
One still playing, one been gone a long time.
Been gone, dog. Melo was, I mean, like we sitting in the stands and we watching, dog. He catching it at the elbow, face up, putting the ball over his head, creating a little space, jab, pull up. I'm like, hold up, man. Like, ain't nobody supposed to be doing this, dog. Like, who?
How the hell you guard that at 18 years old?
Who thinks of that? No, he was so quick, and so once he got you with the jab, same way he does now. Once he put it down on the floor, he had that quick hizzy, and just he was out. I'm like, God, dog, hey man, like I knew right then my days of being able to play in the NBA was over with. I'm like,
a little confidence.
I was 6'1", 215 in high school, man. Like fat. Like I'm thinking I'm good in the hood, and like can't nobody go me. And then I seen that dude play, like okay, yeah. Just get the best what I can out of this, and enjoy life.
6'7", 170 at the time. I still thought I had NBA thing. I just knew I knew I wasn't gonna be that. Like, okay, I know I'll never be that good. That's just I can't begin to think how to guard that. Maybe when I got a little older and savvy, I could probably wait on certain cues. But at 18,
no,
there's no way I can guard that dude. No way.
No. Another person I think played was Amari Stoudemire. I'm like, whew.
I never seen Amari play.
Oh, what? Beast. I played against Big Perk, man. Big Perk was just, again, he was just Big Perk. Like, Perk was 6'9", 6'10", 280. Like, how do you guard that in high school? Like, big man, shout out to my boy Alton Ford, man. Did Alton Ford pass?
Yeah, he passed like 2 years ago.
Alton Ford, man. Alton Ford was
really good.
Another great high school person, Rashard Lewis, the big youngster.
To say it. Rashard Lewis is unguardable too. Unguardable. 6'10". You can't do nothing with that dude, man.
The big youngster, dog. Oh my goodness.
Dog.
That's a great question.
With that dude, man. Yeah, he was amazing. I'll give one more. Cartier Martin played at our rival school in our district. 6'7" can just 6'8" can do everything. He ended up going to NBA as well. He played for the Pistons and the Wizards. Couldn't do nothing. He played at Kansas State before that. Couldn't do shit with Cartier, man. That was probably my hardest cover in my life, guarding him, because he just was so athletic. He was quick, strong. But I think that made me better because I played him a lot. It made me better going against him because I started to see like what a real big man looked like, a real Division I prospect in early high school who was young. Like Cartier was on varsity like all 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just was a beast, man. He was a beast. Let's see. What year was What year was TJ Ford? TJ Ford was 2001.
2001, man.
I heard of Willard Dunbar High School in Baltimore. Yep, that was with Muggsy Bogues, went pro. Fort Worth Dunbar actually had a really good team as well out there in Dallas. They had a really good team with guys like Jermis Smith. He played at Georgia Tech. Like they whole team had bounce.
Yeah.
Charles Moore says, right. Mike Campbell says, what is the best summer league you guys played in? Now, see, me, I was a late bloomer, so my summer league experience ain't shit. Will probably got more of that for me.
Summer league, man, Summer league wasn't really big back then like that, man. Just AAU. AAU has just gotten strong in Texas, man. It's not on the level where it is now. AAU in Texas is probably the best there is as far as overall programs. And of course, there are little, AAU teams here and there, but we have Pro Skills out of Dallas. We got the Houston Hoops still. Texas Pro used to be a group, and it's more and more to think of. I think Drive Nation is another one. I think Jermaine O'Neal does that. He has a gym now out in Dallas, somewhere by the airport, and so it was just travel, man. We used to have this thing now back then called the Texas Gasso, which is still kind of
big shootout.
but that's still the Mike Kunstad, who's my college coach. Mike Kunstad he's old man, but he's still rocking and kicking, and he still has the best tournaments there are. Hal Passner, who's Josh Pastner. I don't know where he's coaching at now, but he was at Arizona. He was at Memphis. I think he's at Vanderbilt now, something like that. Al Pastner, he's put on great tournaments out in Vegas, like the Fab 48 and Vegas Big Time or something like that. I've seen some great dudes, man. I've seen Aaron Gordon play. I've seen, of course, De'Aaron Fox. I know he was an All-American.
Yeah, you can see that sophomore year.
Justin Jackson, they both played on the same team. Justin Jackson played for the Kings, and he played for the Mavs for a little bit. I don't know what he's doing now, but National Player of the Year at North Carolina, won a national championship. I've seen all types of dudes, man. Like you see the Duncanville basketball is probably the best basketball program in the nation right now. They're undefeated. They just beat Mount Verdi out of California in a tournament in Arizona.
It's a public school on top of all that.
It's a public school, yes, man. If you haven't heard of this kid, anybody who's a basketball fan, if you have not heard of this kid, check him out. His name is Anthony Black. He's probably going to Kansas. My God is all. My God is all I can say. And then they got another kid named Ron Holland, who's a junior. He's like number 8 in the nation on ESPN. These dudes are loaded. And this is a public school, and Duncanville it's an open district, but Duncanville has the right formula. I call it Duncanville College because it's one campus, and it's just them. It's Duncanville ISD, and then there's Duncanville. It's them. So they have the right formula, man. And people in Houston need to figure it out because these dudes they're about to go on a 4-peat.
The girls are really good too. They've been good forever.
Yeah, the girls been good, but the DeSoto girls is probably gonna win it this year. But Duncanville High School, they playing a national schedule right now. They were just in Utah, just beat the brakes off of somebody there. But Anthony Black out of Duncanville, he's a transfer in. This kid he's probably the All-American, probably going to Kansas. He is the real deal. But back to summer league stuff, man. We don't really have summer league in Houston like that or Texas like that. AAU is the thing. But if you go to some of these tournaments, you're going to see somebody who can really, really play, man. And just there's a kid named PJ Haggerty out of Crosby, which is not too far out of Houston. One of the nation's best scorers. I mean, you can absolutely fill it up, man. And I left out a dude, Tack Minor. Tack Minor is probably one of the best dudes I ever held in my life. I mean, he just got honored. Yeah, I mean, Tack Minor was unbelievable, man. He played against Daniel Gibson, who played with LeBron and with the Cavs. Tack Minor just got honored. He got his jersey retired. He's in the Hall of Fame in his district. So shout out to Tack, man. But seen a lot of dudes.
Headache. Yep.
A lot of dudes. So
absolutely.
That's a great question, man.
We're about to land this plane because we're in a 2-hour mark, and I got some stuff to do today. Gone Ballistic says, even though I've graduated from Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, I really like what Deion's doing. Yeah, that's the thing. He's bringing in interest from people you would have no clue what Jackson State was, before last season, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point. We want people who. We got a hot comment before we stop. I do want to address that. Okay, so Mike Evans, I grew up in the Sunny Hill League in Philly, some of the New York, Jersey. The best AAU tournament run by Boo Williams, basketball program in Hampton, Virginia. I heard about Boo's shit. Yeah.
I heard. Yep.
Fly got because say Fort Worth and dump. Fort Worth dump balls in Fort Worth, not Dallas. I said Dallas area, clown. Nobody knows what Fort Worth is. Let's see. SC State beat Jackson State. Hot take.
I don't know, man. Hey, we're gonna do a preview show about that. Maybe tomorrow, but maybe early Saturday morning, man. That game comes on at noon, I believe. So
okay. Well, I'm off Saturday. We can go early. We can go real early Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Early Saturday morning.
Yes. Y'all keep up, man. Y'all, if y'all not subscribed to Between the Game Sports, we're gonna have a preview show about that. So we'll see. Yeah. Let's see. Last comment. Michael Campbell says, Houston, when I lived in Beaumont, Fondy Recreation Center was a place to play back. Yep. Yeah. I grew up in the Fondy gym too. That's how I got to play with Shaw Lewis when I was like in 7th grade. I don't know how this matchup happened, but oh man, it's like watching LeBron play against high schoolers.
Yeah.
it was unreal.
They're trying to bring that back, man. They're doing pro-am leagues down in the Fun Day now. But man, back in the day, man, every hooper came to the Fun Day to play, man. They got the Rico Hines stuff now that's going on in Cali, but it was nothing like the Fun Day.
Absolutely.
Back in the day.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Charles Morris with the super chat, baby. Love the live stream, man. And again, man, our whole point is to try to bring y'all some quality content. But we talking about some real stuff, you know what I mean? And because, again, it may not always be the most exciting, but it's something that it comes from a place of experience, and it's something that it's a story to be told. Mm-hmm. And so I appreciate you appreciating what's going on. Man, I got to get my sound graphics on point. I should have waited till I brought the comment up. Dang it.
This is why you got to start doing it from your laptop. Easier, man.
Yeah, I got to give me a soundboard, man. So y'all super chats, y'all's cash apps, they do help the channel out to us to start building our stuff up. I need to get my green screen too. Anywho, man, I would give you a horn. My iPad about to die anyway. But yeah, man. So man, thank y'all for being on this stream, man. Again, the haters gonna talk, but what they're really trying to do is just reposition people's minds, i.e. the athletes, to try to want to recalibrate to come back to the traditional system. Because at the end of the day, it lines their pockets. So if the top tier athletes stop going to these programs, they know the trickle down effect. Trickle down effect is you won't get offered that same type of salary with a worse product. So they see the forest beyond the trees. So they're just trying to put sow those seeds of dissension inside the public consciousness, so it make you not want to support it. Or make athletes think twice about going there. That's all that is. Gottlieb know where his bread is buttered. It's not going through the HBCU experience. It's keeping those Power 5 schools Power 5. He knows that. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing like a kibosh going on right now, and that's cool. But we got to be still, on code, on purpose, what we're doing, and we still support these teams. So make sure if we live in the city, we go to these games. We, show our support back to these schools, because it's just going to keep the train rolling. Mm-hmm. They can't stop what's organic if we keep staying steadfast. And so I welcome all of it, man, because if we are who we say we are, we're as strong we are as people, it's nothing. It's nothing. Them hating is nothing. That's what they're going to do, because what else can you do? Go force a kid to come to your school? No, can't do that.
Got to kidnap him. Yeah, try to kidnap him. That's about it.
Yeah, you going to kidnap a kid and train him up. So yeah, man, that's all I got, man. Will, you got anything before we peace out?
Man, no, man. I appreciate, man, allowing me to be on as usual, man. We always have fun doing this stuff. It's always genuine. It's always organic. Y'all make sure to find me on all social media platforms, Between the Game Sports. Subscribe to my channel as well. You got a show coming up at 5:00 with Sub-Zero. I might do the Jackson State Drake game tonight. I don't know. We've been at this for a while, so I need to recover. I ain't ate nothing today.
Man, I ain't nothing today, man. I need to go.
So I might do the Jackson State basketball game tonight, man. So if y'all Jackson State fans, if you want to kick it with me, man, let me know. But man, it's been great, man. We're gonna do the preview show early Saturday morning, so y'all look out for that. And other stuff is happening, man. I enjoyed it. I appreciate everybody that's been in the chat, putting stuff out there. It's been fun.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Mike Campbell keeping that chat popping all stream long. I appreciate you, brother, more than you know. And so yeah, that's all we got. Because we hungry, we tired. Because I'll go in an hour because y'all ain't here in full throat, man. And that's dope. But yeah, I'm hungry and tired. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna get y'all on the back end. Peace.
Shout out to Hoop Shark, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Shark. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Shark. Shout out to Hoop Shark.
Shout out to Hoop Shark, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Shark. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority all Houston people. So that's